Hello everyone and welcome to Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host Rob Bentley and thanks for tuning in. On today's show, we'll talk Bulldog Hockey. We'll wrap up the Bulldog football season and we'll check in with Ferris State Cross Country. First up, Bulldog Hockey, and with us, Assistant Coach Mark Kaufman. And Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Rob.
The Bulldogs this past weekend taking on Bowling Green at the Aberglaven Ice Arena, and you take 3 out of a possible 4 points against the Falcons this weekend.
Yeah, it was a hard-earned victory on Saturday night, and on Friday evening we were down a couple of goals, but we were able to find a way to get back into the game late and take it in overtime. So Bowling Green's a tough team. They've had a lot of success in our building in past years, and it was good to, I guess, get those points and come away with 3 out of 4.
Kind of different than the series you had the week before against Bemidji State, a team maybe you weren't as familiar with. Certainly you've had an opportunity here to play Bowling Green numerous times here over the last couple seasons. Yeah,
Bemidji State was a different type of game for sure. Again, Bowling Green, I think, is a little bit more of a skilled team and a bigger, powerful type team. A team that from the old CCHA days, so to speak, that you were matching up against week in, week out. So they've got a real good club. They've had a really good non-conference schedule in terms of wins and losses, and really a force to be reckoned with down the road.
As we go to the highlights of Friday's game against Bowling Green, obviously the Falcons coming in number 2 in the WCHA, the Bulldogs in first place. What were some of the keys going into the weekend for Ferris State?
Well, we wanted to really shore up on our penalty kill. We were a little lax the last couple of weeks with that, but we did a pretty good job in terms of killing off penalties. We had some excellent goaltending from C.J. Mott, and some timely scoring by some of our younger players.
C.J. Mott, you mentioned him, still unbeaten on the year after the 2 weekend games. Hard to believe he hasn't gave up a loss this season.
Yeah, no, his numbers are excellent. He's worked extremely hard over the last couple of years, especially this past summer, and just becoming the goaltender we thought he would become.
We see the first goal of the game from the Bulldogs, Chad McDonald, but that 1-0 lead holds up for a little while, but Bowling Green scores the next 3 to take a 3-1 advantage.
Yeah, they really stormed back. They did a great job around our net area and really kind of outmuscled us at times, but we were able to establish some fight and give them some pushback, and were able to secure the necessary goals to get that extra point.
The Falcons certainly had a shot advantage both nights, but we see the Bulldogs come back here. Garrett Thompson with the goal to pull back within 1, and then we'll see the big equalizer here with 9 seconds left.
Yeah, we've got the extra attacker there after the pull goalie, and make a cross rink-wide pass over, and we're able to get that one-time shot in by Corey Kane. And our older players really pulled us through there in that type of game, and they've done a good job as reflected with their stats and the scoring within the conference right now.
A little different than the CCHA in the past. The WCHA does not go to a shootout. It ends in a 1-1 overtime tie. Just how important is that point in the standings?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. It's a big swing point, and obviously when you're a road team, you want to go in and at least secure 1 win, get those 2 points, and by denying Bowling Green that point and coming away with 3, it could be a difference maker down the road.
As we go to Saturday's game and the highlights of Saturday's contest, obviously a bigger crowd on hand Saturday night, a great crowd, over 2,200 fans in attendance.
Yeah, I mean, they were very vocal and enthusiastic, and I think on Friday's game, that was the opening of hunting season, so we understand that. But yeah, great crowd on Saturday, and we were able to feed off some of the emotion they provided for us.
A little bit different game than maybe Friday's game. Bowling Green scores the first 2 goals of the game, and then third period it was a big Bulldog advantage.
Yeah, the kids really held their own. They didn't panic. We felt up to that point we played a fairly decent game, and they just hung in there. And for the most part, we're patient and poised, and we got our opportunities and were able to cash in.
We see coming up here shortly a shorthanded goal for the Bulldogs. You had a couple big shorthanded goals on the weekend.
Yeah, those types of goals are huge momentum builders, and this is Kenny Babinski coming down the middle of the ice here and goes 5 home, the goaltender. And as mentioned before, our penalty kill last few weeks has not been up to par, but we really worked hard on it this past week, and you want to stop goals whenever you can get a goal scored or a goal for. It's a big plus.
See Matt Robertson with the game winner for the Bulldogs, and then obviously the empty netter at the end for Ferris State. Guys like Robertson that maybe not in the lineup every night, but when they come out there can get a goal, huge for the production.
Yeah, he's worked awfully hard. He just hadn't been very productive up to now, but again, he had an outstanding game. He hadn't played the last couple of weekends, and hats off to him for hanging in there and working very hard in practice, and he got the game winner.
After 3 weekends here in conference play, the Bulldogs still at the top of the WCHA standings. Still early, but talk about where the team's at right now in terms of the conference race.
Well, we're in first place. We've got some home game. We've got another home series against Alaska, which has always been a tough team for us to play. But then we go on the road for the next 2 weekends up to Northern, and then following to Lake Superior State and Sault Ste. Marie there. And we've got some non-conference tilts against Michigan and Michigan State. And then we open up the new year in Minnesota in their the Golden Gopher tournament out west there. But we don't come back to our ice arena until in the middle of January. So we got to make some hay this weekend to send our fans off on a good note, and hopefully they can welcome us back with open arms come January.
You wrap up the 6-game homestand, as you mentioned, against Alaska this weekend. What do you expect out of the Nanooks coming in? Another team that from back in the old CCHA days that continued on into the WCHA.
They've always been a fast, speedy team, not overly physical, but if you turn over pucks in critical areas or critical moments, they'll make you pay for it. So we've got to just manage our puck possession game a little bit better against Alaska, because at the end of the day, they got strong goaltending, and as mentioned, they got some very crafty and skilled forwards.
As you mentioned, a long road stretch here after this weekend for the Bulldogs. How important are these 2 games, being able to play them at home before you head into that long road stretch?
Real important. We were talking about that as a staff today, that we kind of wish we were on the road, because 3 weekends at home is a little unusual, but that's how the schedule bared out for us, and we got to find a way to get the job done.
You've got some great contributions here already early in the year from a number of younger players, some freshmen that have came on and produced some points for you. Just talk about their progress, how they've improved here early on in the year.
Well, they've been mainstays in our lineup for the most part. Chad McDonald's he's been able to get some points for us lately. Kyle Schemp has been a little bit of a glue player for us, playing all different types of positions and really contributing wherever he played. And Gerald Mayhew, again, is a player who can score goals and finish off plays as well. And back on our blue line, we've got one freshman defenseman, Ryan Lowney. In the last couple of weeks, has really come into his own and playing in all situations and really contributing. So right now, the freshman class has done one heck of a job in terms of complementing the efforts of the older players on the team.
Finally, unbeaten here in the last 7 games are the Ferris State Bulldogs. What's been a big key to that stretch and that success that you've had?
C.J. Mott, he's been great in that, and but again, guys like Garrett Thompson, Justin Buzzio, Scott Zernalzen, Jason Binkley, a lot of our older players have not only played well, they've been very productive in terms of putting points on the board and contributing well to a good defensive game as well. So when your top players are playing both ends of the rink and producing, it really sets a good tone for the rest of the kids. And right now, we're in good shape.
Well, Coach, congratulations again on the past weekend, and best of luck against Alaska this weekend.
Thank you, Rob.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.